Welcome back. There has been a fresh resurgence of COVID-19 cases in Singapore. Over 547 new cases have been reported just in one day. Now, that is pretty alarming for a country which was revered all over the world. They were amongst the first to close the country to outsiders. They were the first to introduce strict testing measures, quarantine, and it's a little disappointing that a country which we believed had pretty much been able to control the COVID-19 cases is now seeing a resurgence once again, which reminds you of the fragility of the entire monitoring system. Sometimes you may hear that cases are on a downward hill as far as Italy and Spain are concerned. You never know, and some time back there may be a resurgence in those same areas. So be pretty much cautious about that. I was looking into the earnings of Sasa International Holdings. Now, this is a Hong Kong-based chain store selling cosmetics, personal care, skin care, and baby care products. Very famous company. Sharp drop in earnings. They had been hurt not only by the protests in Hong Kong earlier last year, but now they have been hit very badly by the COVID-19 and the demand disruption that has taken place. So earlier by the protests, now by the demand destruction, pretty harsh on Sasa International Holdings. It is listed on Hong Kong Stock Exchange, HANGSENG Index, and popular company. Globally, if you look at the scenario, you find that the earnings of banks, JP Morgan, Citibank, and also the Goldman Sachs were below expectations yesterday, and therefore Wall Street took a hit. There has been a sharp decline in earnings and a sharp increase in provisions in general in each of these banks for the credit card debts, for loans which may go sour and go outstanding, and definitely this is going to affect. In fact, IMF now projects that the world is facing the worst situation ever since the depression in the early part of the century. IMF also expects that Asia growth to be at its lowest level in 60 years. And it's something which new projections are coming every now and then and are definitely hurting the continent. Markets are reverberating to the tunes of what various forecasts are coming in from IMF, from many international agencies, and definitely hitting it pretty much as in how these news begin to percolate. Definitely World Bank believes that India must not become the next coronavirus epicenter. Very traumatic it is to find that cases are on a sharp increase in India now. Mumbai seems to be getting into almost like a very big epicenter of new and rapidly rising cases, but more than that is the frail medical facilities which are available. People are running pillar to post just to get admissions in many of these COVID-19 designated hospitals, which really stands to the detriment and definitely is working against the recovery from COVID-19 is concerned. There are few ICU beds, very few intensivists, chest physicians available at these major government hospitals, to the extent that they are being transplanted from many of the private hospitals to deal with this urgent pandemic. And that's not a very good state of affairs, as you can very well understand. The retail sales figures announced yesterday in the United States was very disappointing. Down sharply, and one can understand that this really has a very important bearing on the consumer sentiment. It just shows how badly the retail sentiment is turned sour in just a very short period of time, and that caused, along with the major fall in earnings of these various banks, the big banks, this caused major fall in US stock indices, Dow Jones and NASDAQ yesterday. I believe that as far as forecasting today's sessions, Asia should be very negative, and the negativity will increase as time passes. Similarly, Europe, the moment it starts opening, it will start, London FTSE will be extremely negative. So one can see a great deal of negativity in as far as FTSE is concerned, as far as CAC French CAC and German DAX are concerned, they will all be very, very negative to begin with. However, as far as the United States is concerned, I would hasten to add that the United States will witness some good amount of after 1:30 New York time, you'll see a very good rally. So be careful. There were whatever may be the state of the US jobs data, the initial jobless claims that come out today, and that's what the world is looking forward to. The session on Wall Street should be very productive, very constructive. Not only Europe will open in the negative and sharply negative, but this trend will continue even later on, even after. So the entire session on Europe, I believe, will be very negative. So very negative Asia, very negative Europe. But I would hasten to add that the session on Wall Street will be pretty good today. Particularly the one after 1:30 will be nice. Even before, it is giving mixed signals as of now. But if you were to ask me what my personal belief is, the opening session on Wall Street will also be good. So good markets in America, very difficult sessions on Asia and also in Europe. And particularly as far as India is concerned, I have mentioned much before that after 12 and between 12 and 3:30, expect a very big downturn in the Indian indices, the Sensex and the Nifty. Be very careful. Today is also the options expiration date. So I have given my prediction for global stocks for today. Happy investing. Take care.